My name is Bandersnitch, or Blips as you can see on the screen here. And today we're going to talk about how to armor up your ship and doing it properly. Last time I explained how to do proper attack AI. So why not talk about how to do some defenses, and considering the last video is actually doing pretty well. I've never gotten so many views so quickly on a video. Normally I'm like way down there. So let's start out by talking about room health, and it's fairly simple. Actually, it's really simple. Just take these green power bars you see here. It's the same amount of power that needs to be put into the room to have it at full power. Each one of these bars also represents their health. So you can see this mining laser right here has 2 health, this turret has 1 health, these missiles have 3, and this level 6 reactor has 7. Now, once a room is down, and I mean at 0 health, if that room is hit, except by certain types of missiles, it will start taking hull damage. And hull damage is something you don't want to take. You know, you'll lose. You lose, and nobody wants to lose. Plus, that's why you're here. You've probably been losing. Oh, anyway, back to me. So, really what you want to do is you want to put some armor on that stuff. Now, it's really important to armor the low health rooms, because you're going to be mitigating that damage that you take to that room, because they're easier to destroy, which means they're a quick target, an easy target for you to get your ass beaten. So here's how we do it. Now if we look at my TT here, or turret, you can see that it's enhanced 30% by armor. That's a lot. It's gonna take 30% less damage. Now Savvy, or Savvy Soda, you know, the creators of the game, don't necessarily provide everyone with a specific formula on how that does it, but just think about it. Just use your brains. Like, it's gonna take a lot less damage, which means your hull is gonna take a lot less damage, which means you have more of a chance for victory. So here's a good way to do it. Now you take your small room and you surround it as much as you can, such as like this TT. If you're a little bit higher, you're probably using like anti-air, so you can try to keep a similar setup to that. Okay, and you can also armor up kind of like this. Now you'll look at this mining laser and you'll notice it's got 40% armor and only 2 health. So that's going to be very well taken care of in the middle of battle. You're gonna take 40% less damage on that weapon. So in reality, you're gonna want to set your rooms in such a manner that you can get the most armor around your low health rooms as possible. Reactors having 7 health at their max level 6 aren't gonna need as much, which is why I placed this guy right here on the lower end, where he's only receiving 15% armor. Next, we're going to be talking about lifts. Here we can see 2 lifts, and now I only set it up like this so that I could show you guys in an attack later how this is going to function. Obviously, lifts are like elevators. They go up, they go down. You should understand this by now. How old are you? Anyway, so if you look into the upgrade menu here, you can see that I could upgrade this one if I wanted to. Not going to, just for some demonstration purposes that I'm going to show you later. But if you go down, you'll see capacity. Don't worry about defense. I don't know why defense is there. It doesn't matter. Nobody can shoot your lifts anyway. So you see at capacity it says 90. Think of these points, or this number, as your zoomy points. The higher this number, the faster your lift goes. This is a level 1 lift, so right now it's got 90 zoomy points, which means it's gonna move at much slower pace than the 130 zoomy points that I got over on my level 5 lift. And if you're wondering why I can't upgrade, well, it says upgrade ship. Minimum level required to upgrade. Right now, I'm at 5. Or sorry, min level means that you have to be this level before you can upgrade it. So before I can upgrade these lifts to level 6, I'm gonna have to be a level 7 ship. Makes sense. Another thing about lifts is that 2 of them cannot be placed next to each other. They can't do this. You know what I mean? Look at my fingers. You can't do this. So you want to have at least a minimum of one space in between, and you can't walk through 2 of them at once because they can't be together. Other than that, lifts will work if they reach the bottom square of a room, like this. So if I move this, if this male nurse took this up to that square, he would be able to enter the room, which means you can also put a piece of armor on top of that to give the room that you're going into a little bit of an extra boost. And one final thing about lifts is that 2 people can't go through one lift. Oh my god. Hush! One final thing about lifts is that 2 people can't go through. 2 crew members cannot walk through at the same time. However, there is one thing that can, and it is right here. Woof. Right here we have a service vent. And you can see it says used for controlled heating, ship servicing, beware of rats. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is that service vents can fit 2 crew going in opposite directions or the same direction all at one time. They'll also duck their head and look kind of funny. That can be very useful for going through and repairing things as quickly as you can, because you'll see in later game that everybody's going to be running around. Everybody's going to be doing something. Having inactive crew is kind of just bad. It's just bad. You gotta designate a job for them. So using vents underneath a piece of armor that's armoring 2 rooms that will allow 2 people to go through, or multiple people to go through at once, is a really, really good combination. And that's really all there is to vents. You can put 2 of them next to each other, so and I mean it won't matter at this point, but hold on, we'll get that over there. Can't zoom out on this, I'm sorry. So you can have 2 of them next to each other and they'll connect kind of like this, and you can have multiple crew walking through that, whereas with lifts you can't do that. They only go up and down and support 1 character. Anyway, we have one final thing to talk about when it comes to defending your ship. Now, these require power, and they are called, let me see, I think it's Security Gate? Yes, Security Gate. And as you can see, it's enhanced 10% by that armor. A defensive security gate to prevent enemies from passing through your ship. Requires power to operate. Requires 1 power. It has 1 health. Which means this thing is an easy target to take you down if somebody is blitzing your ship. So, you want to make sure that you have that armor around that. Do the best you can with it. I know you're working with limited space, so just do the best that you possibly can. So, say my little Captain Blips right here, I'll draw a little circle around him, is an enemy boarder, and he is coming onto your ship, and he's going towards your reactor. He's gonna try to run through this door, and he's not gonna be able to move unless that's powered off. But most of the time, you're preventing them from doing that. You're armoring that up, you're making sure everything is going, and you're hammering down on their ship. So, there you go. Those are all the little bits of defense that you can do. Now, how you set your ship up is totally up to you. It's up to your playstyle and however you want to do that fun stuff. However, I do suggest whenever you have a small room like a turret or anti-air if you're high enough, to try and armor the hell out of that. You know, turn that thing into Fort Knox. You don't want anyone besides your crew being in that room, and you want nothing to break it down. You're a strong woman. I forgot one thing. If you look at this little blinky thing here, it's kind of like aesthetically pleasing armor you can buy for $50, not actual money, but in-game money. And they provide the same as level 5 armor. They give you 5%. I think that's level 5. And they blink, and they can be seen outside of your ship. So use them cautiously, or sparingly. If you need them to kind of give an extra boost to a little bit of a room, I know I do this. I use them in my main account to give some extra boost to some rooms. Then go for it. They're $50 a piece, not actual money. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There's your defense tips for defending yourself against the dark arts and not stuff. Anyway, I'll be back to my regular content with some intervals of this, starting in a few days. It's been a pretty busy couple of weeks, so I'm very sorry, but I'm back in the creative mood, and have a good one. Bye bye.